What is up? Chester, we got a guest today. How you doing, though?
Got things and stuff, man. Got Horton in the house after successfully dominating and running the Du Bois GT in Rochester, New York. How it goes?
It's going great. Nice to see you guys again.
Haven't seen you in a while. How are things? We've made it home safely. I have a negative COVID test to prove so. Things are looking good. I did lose my wallet in the airport, but it was found in the airport as well.
How did you lose your wallet?
So we haven't talked yet. We had to deplane in Rochester because they had an issue with the plane, and I put my jacket in the overhead with my Warhammer 40K stuff because I didn't want to wear my jacket in the plane because I had my Blackhawks jersey on. And then my wallet was in the pocket of my jacket. When I deplaned, I just grabbed everything and went to the other plane all pissed off. And my wallet was left in that plane, the original plane. So when I landed in Chicago, I didn't have a wallet. And I was like, what the hell happened? So I looked everywhere, nothing there. So I went to customer service. They called Rochester and they found the wallet. So all good.
Did you have the wallet? Did they send it to you?
They're going to mail it to me. It's in the ether right now. Hopefully it comes out.
So you technically don't have a wallet. You have a promise.
I'm driving on a passport.
You have an IOU for a wallet.
I have an IOU from United for a wallet. Yes, that is currently the situation.
Well, luckily you didn't have any cash on you all weekend, so it's all good.
I know. I gave it all to you. So you have all the cash now.
By the way, gents, I do want you to know that when I got home, this is what I had.
Nice.
I
think we need to get those.
It's a shame that you couldn't be drinking them all back out of that all weekend.
Yes, that was my whole thing, but I didn't get it fast enough.
I'm pretty sure if Courtney saw you drinking Malbec out of that, he would have smashed it and just looked at you and said,
he was
wrong.
So angry that
wrong.
The quote was, "I was offended that a dwarf was drinking wine and not ale."
I mean, I get it.
So yeah, what took place? Tell us about. We were both at the tournament. We even played each other at the tournament.
Yeah,
we had
We
had successful Du Bois. Went off without a hitch. What games did you have there? You had 40K. I know you had some Sigmar.
We had 40K, AOS, and Underworlds. We didn't do quite as much as we normally do because space and COVID and all that fun stuff. But it worked out really well. We had 84 registered for 40K, 76 for AOS, although a few minute last cancellations, of course, with COVID and everything on the 40K side, and a little bit on AOS, but it was a fantastic event. I mean, I heard positive feedback from everybody, thankfully. Got a lot of glowing reviews about our variety of terrain that we had.
There was a lot of different stuff. It was a lot of different stuff. It was nice. The also Thursday, Friday, I heard you guys had a separate type of cash bar at one of the tables.
Sure, we'll call it.
That's not your hole, Brad. It's not your hole.
Yeah. That's all right though. He still got fed a banana.
That's true. So Sunday.
Just don't even tell the story. Just leave it there.
Just leave it there.
Just leave it there.
I mean, I was on my.
You had to be there. You had to be there to know what we're talking about. It's done. It's over.
I didn't know where the banana came from. Like where on every Du Bois, they have a huge. They do a raffle, and they have just this table that has a literal pile of prize support on it, and they raffle it off. And you basically, as the numbers get called, you get to come up and choose something, and one of the things that's on the table, and I don't know how the hell it started, but it forever has been a banana.
I very much know.
Why is the banana there?
Somebody a long time ago left it on that table, and the first guy to win the raffle that year went up. I'm pretty sure he was Canadian, and he looked at everything on the table. There's battle forces on the table. There's essentially kill team boxes. There's $200 box sets on the table because it's the first ticket, and he takes the banana. He's like, I'm taking this. As a joke. And then the boys staff, like Courtney and everyone, you know who it was?
It was Chris Haynes.
Chris Haynes.
Okay. So the staff, the boys staff is like, no, that's not an actual prize. Someone just left a banana on the table. Like Courtney and everyone's telling him, like, come back up. I'm sure you were too, Horton, if you were there. I don't know who exactly it was, but I remember the boys' staff was like, come back up and take a real prize because that's not like – he's like, no, I'm good. I got the banana. And he just like peels the banana and eats it. He's like, this is the best damn banana I ever had. And ever since then, they just leave other things on there. So there was like shots on there and bananas on there, all kinds of stuff. Knob Creek was up there. I know Sean loves that, so it was good stuff. A lot of prize support. I mean, from not only the raffle but also from all the awards given out. You know, first place, second place. You know, Brad loves getting second best general, and then all the other awards.
Brad Place.
Yeah, Brad Place. No, Brad Place is actually
Brad Place this year?
No. Brad Place is usually best general, but not overall. Oh, they're actually in second place because they decimated the field, but then an actual hobbyist just edged above Brad to take the overall win, and Brad's been happy with that place for millennia. Recently, actually, I don't think that's ever changed, but this time
it's been best general or nothing for me.
Yeah, this time he wasn't able to even get Brad Place.
Look like a blind hobo made him for me. But.
So, are you in like Daniel Place now? Are you in Daniel Place? What place are you in? You're like second best general.
Yeah,
like place. We don't have a name for that.
I was thinking that my 98-point average per game was going to be enough to take me in, but it was not.
No,
because Kevin apparently pulled out the boots of mighty ass kicking and threw those on, and I should
Templar
not have
player.
taken odds. I should not have taken odds.
They're durable. Black Templars are durable. He had good matchups. I don't think it was an easy walk for him either. He earned the win, got massive wins against everyone he played. Played Mechanicum in the final round. I mean, I'm just glad that, I'm glad for you, Brad, that you didn't have to face him, because then it would have been even worse if you lost to the Black Templar player and you weren't even close to second Brad place. You were like somewhere down low and like
always prefer to play
Mike's place or something. I don't know. So, but yeah, it was a blast. A lot of fun. Good terrain.
Speaking of that, I do have a story for Ed. But Horton wasn't there for that because you were held prisoner. Apparently, every night you were you got held hostage until 11.
Yeah, I
tried to invite you.
I draw the short straw. I draw the short straw and have to watch the hall until I kick everybody out. At night, drunken 11 o'clock-ish.
Before I tell this, KR, so the most important question, where were you on the over-under wine consumption? I went over on day one.
No, he wasn't over on day. Well, he went over on every day, including day one. But yeah, he was over. He was definitely over.
Like laughably over after that.
Well, Thursday night, you drank 3 bottles.
Yeah. No, it was no.
Alan drank 1 of the 4.
No, we had 5 bottles.
3 bottles.
Yeah, we had 5 bottles, and we downed all 5.
So that was day uno.
Yeah.
So things happen.
Day uno, it was evening uno.
That's true.
Day dose. Day dose. I lost count. I actually lost count of Brad on day 2.
I'm gonna give you the Kemp story in a minute. I'll give you the Alan story, who basically has told me over and over, I've got the room, Brad. Everything's taken care of. We show up. We immediately walk up to the counter, and Alan goes, "Do you guys have any rooms available?" No. And Alan looks at me and goes, "Yeah, I don't have a room at all." like you liar.
I got us rooms. I got it all taken care of, though. It was all good.
I offered to let him sleep on my floor. You could cuddle in the bed with me, but outside of that.
We got that Saturday. We go out and camp. We stayed at Kemp's house twice. Weirdly enough, we were literally murder hoboing everywhere. We stayed at Kemp's house day 1. We went to a hotel day 2, and on day 3 we went back to Kemp's house.
I felt like if I made Brad pick up everything he owned every morning, it would throw him off slightly. And then when I play him, because I haven't had like the 1,000 games he's played, I've played about 7 games of 40K. Maybe I'd have an advantage just by making him pick up his own stuff.
He was just poking me with a stick. Oh, the night we go out. So we go out. We're gonna go out with this random bar or restaurant, and we're like, whatever, cool. And we meet everybody at McGregor's, and Courtney has to wash off his vagina, so he goes home, and then we go out to this happy lucky death match 2000. Good luck.
Yeah.
And we walk in, and Alan's wearing a random Blackhawks jersey, and I'm wearing a Star Wars hoodie and my Vulcan shirt, and we both look.
Everyone else looks like they're going to a wedding.
Yes, everybody else is just totally dressed nice, and we look like we are just like some sort of like Make-A-Wish Foundation kind of thing, where we wanted to have one last meal. Kemp, we didn't even realize, threw on a dress shirt and stuff. And
It was
we looked
really
around and
bad.
we're like, hey man, like you could have. We have clothes in our bag. We thought we were going to a random bar kind of thing, just a hole in the wall, whatever. Just chill. We didn't know we were gonna be the homeless people that found some
It was-
money on the street.
It was so bad that when we got there, they didn't have our table ready. And there's like no joke. There's like, I don't know, 250 people in this restaurant bar. There's so many people. It's like a sea of people. You have to like get through them. So we're there and we're getting cocktails and stuff in the back now because we wanted to kind of like stay away from like the general crowd and kind of just find an area. And also Sean had a friend there. And I go, how are they going to find us when our table's ready? Let me go talk to them real quick and see what the status is. So I go up to the front. I talk to the two hostess chicks and I'm like, hey, I don't know what the reservation is for Alan, but let me know. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll come get you. And I'm like, are you guys gonna be able to find me? And they looked at me as if like I was joking. They were like, what do you mean? Of course we're gonna be able to find you. You're giant and you're wearing a red Blackhawks jersey. Like you stand out like a sore thumb. And I just walked away sadly. And then they came and found me and sat me down at my table. And then I got more drinks. That place was really nice though. Very good ambiance.
He did turn green. He didn't
Too many
did a
mixtures.
rookie mistake.
Yeah.
Ellen
I did all rookie mistakes for the whole weekend.
Every alcohol known to man, Alan drank. He started with
Beer, wine,
martini, whiskey, scotch.
wine.
God, you were just drinking. Yes, just drinking. Yes, you were drinking. Yes, just.
Well, that's why on Sunday I walked up and just poured a shot of Jack down your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. That woke me up actually. I appreciate it.
Susan,
I wish you gave my opponent a shot of that because I felt terrible that he didn't have an army on his top of two. So he was really upset.
That the Iron Hands player that
No. He quit.
Knights guy. Ellen
Knights
gave
guy.
the guy an 11, including the 10 for paint.
Yeah, that was bad. I felt bad. I was like, I don't know what to
You got
say.
one.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, these things happen.
I literally was like, ooh, I'm glad I didn't take grind because I wouldn't have been able to score it after turn one.
I was like in the middle of my game. You're just like, hey man, what's going on?
You didn't even deploy yet. I went out and like talked to people.
That's true.
I went and hung out with the AOS guys. I got like lunch with Bill for like a whole hour while you played, and then you came. Like it was pretty funny actually.
Like,
AOS tournament was really nice too, really good. But Grey Knights, man,
Yeah,
Brad.
we got a lot of compliments.
Yeah, no, the AOS stuff was awesome. All of the boards.
Dude,
and
I'm not gonna lie. The
armies.
AOS armies were fucking boss mode. Like there was some armies that were just amazing. What is that big ass dragon? I need to know what that thing is.
That was a conversion. He was using a conversion model. That was like another model in like a different line, but he was playing it as I think Marathi or something like a Marathi in that army. I can't remember what it was. It was a huge dragon on that mythical display board. That was really cool. Mardi Gras display board.
Did you see Martin Orlando's display with the Lumineth for that?
Dude,
Yes,
Martin
yes.
Orlando is like
that
insane painting.
That was insane, dude.
Yeah.
There was just some great. The Age of Sigmar stuff just looked fantastic. They had some really, really good armies. Like, ooh.
Yeah, did you grade? Did the AOS guys grade on a curve? Because like if they didn't, it'd be like Martin Orlando at like 100, and then you'd like start everyone else at like 9.
Well, it's like they had a 40-point rubric, and like Martin, of course, got a perfect.
Well, they just
And,
burned
like,
it in
the
front of his
next
army,
closest
right?
Guy was like a 30.
Okay, all right. I guess that's sort of fair.
What did you
It
think
was one of
about?
those things?
What did you think about? You ran the tournament. What did you think about this year compared to other years after coming back from COVID and everything else?
So after coming back from COVID, definitely a challenge, of course, number one, because we did the full vaccine thing and the mask, and most everybody was really great about it, which was absolutely fantastic. It was weird not having the Canadians there. This is the first year that we had like one Canadian, and there's usually a plethora.
Yeah.
That kind of toned down things a little bit, so that was a little odd.
Yeah, I didn't even realize until we were talking about it. I was like, I just paused and we were going into game 2, and I'm like, hey man, where's all the Canadians at? It's like, this is where they're always here.
It was sad. I was sad.
It was sad because, like Chris Haynes, his crew, all of Team Canada, Ricky Johnson and his crew and all those guys just weren't there. And that was it was a strange feeling. That and I didn't get free bottles of Canadian whiskey, which is always a bonus.
You got a pretty nice
nonsense.
you got a
That's
pretty nice
travesty.
bottle though. You did get a pretty nice bottle.
you did get me a very nice bottle, and it was delicious. And I promise you, I didn't drink all of it on one night.
There you go.
It made it a night and like 10 minutes into the next morning.
There you go.
But it was good. Definitely a change of pace going from these missions themselves that we're in right now. Make it, because I always, like, as you know, I always love doing custom missions and custom stuff. And this made it a little bit harder because when we were trying to play test, we were like, oh, we'll do unique secondaries for people who don't have codexes to try and give them a new way to score, another venue of being able to score. We play tested probably 30 different secondaries and could never get ones that balanced. It was just, whether it was we couldn't get enough games in with them, or it was just, yeah, this is really good for this army, but it's terrible for every other one. So it was just not conducive enough with the time frame in which we were trying to do it in, which was rough. My guess is once we have, because now I've ran Atlantic City probably 15 events since June. Since April I've ran, I think it was 23 we figured out the other day. Now with having all of those games underneath my belt as a TO, and with more stuff upcoming, I'm pretty sure by next year when we roll around, I'll have a whole list of unique missions again and all different kinds of stuff.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Wow.
It does, because it's one of the things that you're known for. The different terrain, the different styles of play. And the thing is I like that, though. It's nice to have that. It's one of my favorite things about that, besides the fact that we get like powerfully drunk, but it's the fact that you're basically coming off you're right between big tournaments that are, they're always the same. You got LVO that does its thing.
Corporate 40K.
That's doing its thing. I guess corporate 40K, but it's nice to have something in the middle of that. You know what I mean? That, makes it so you have to think outside of the box. You can't bring your standard stuff. Or if you're bringing standard stuff, you got to play it different. You know what I mean? Because you might have to achieve something completely different, which is it's just fun sometimes to have to figure out a problem. Another, just something different.
Yeah, it's like in 2019, we had the building rules because we had buildings on every table. And we gave them special rules, and they worked fairly well for the most part. Only one person really figured out how to abuse it, and then didn't do very well, but it was fun to watch him try. And, it was pretty good. This year we were like, well, with everything going on, we were worried about, to be honest with you, RIT, who owned the convention center, they had an opportunity to cancel it up to 2 weeks beforehand. So I was like, how many hours of practice and play testing do you want to put into this to hear them go, no, we decided against it. So it was one of those weird dichotomies, but it all worked out pretty good. I'm looking forward to getting the unique stuff again, though.
Ooh, I think one of the big things is I showed Alan that Google Maps exists, because we went to go get a bottle of scotch from Mr. Brian Horton here. And what happened is we left. This is also after we were getting me pants, because day one I had slipped in the bathroom and ripped the crotch out of my pants. So I had to get new pants. So we're driving to go get some scotch for you. And Alan puts it in his phone. And I'm like, for one, it's literally the most insane directions ever. Also, two, I don't recognize what's on Alan's phone. So he's using like Big Earl's House of Maps app or something. I'm not 100% sure what it is.
Or Apple Maps, but yeah, that sounds fine.
Whatever.
It's just an iPhone.
The directions literally started us off with taking 2 U-turns.
Well, it made us take a U-turn, and then like a mile later, it's like, make another U-turn.
You're like, what? Where are we going? It just starts wandering us all over the place. We're literally going on this magical journey where like there is no way this is the closest place. Also, we are definitely not taking the fastest route, because we have made so many random turns all over the place. It's like there on Big Girl's House of Maps, there's apparently an option for lose police that are following you.
No, absolutely
and that's
not.
What we were trying to do.
No, it was more like if you got in an Uber and the Uber did exactly what the maps told him to do, and it did exactly what my maps told me to do, you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna die right now. He's taking me to kill me somewhere in like an area. So it was scary.
Well, and that was the best, was loaning him my car. And
I was going,
my car was like loaded with like 8,000 things in it going to a tournament. So I'm like, oh, I don't even know if there was like, I'm like, I hope nobody else went with him, because I'm pretty sure you couldn't get in the past.
Brad came with me.
There was only space for Brad, and I crowed just because I'm a wee lad.
There's always space for Brad. It's a universal rule.
Well, he at least had lights on with your car. We drove Kemp's car around for the entire night with no lights on.
That's true. Kemp's car didn't have automatic lights, and I just didn't. I kept forgetting to put them on. So I'm just like driving around with no lights the whole time. That was kind of scary, but yeah, it worked out. I had a blast. I loved playing my list. My list was so much fun. The drills are like insane. I didn't like that the Iron Hands guy that I played at the end. He did not like the drills at all. So I felt bad there. But
I don't think anyone has played them in my local meta, which is he's one of my semi-local guys, and I don't think he'd ever seen one. So not knowing what it did.
Yeah, I did explain it beforehand. I feel like people don't take me for my word. I'm like, if the drill assaults a vehicle, it dies, and like I don't think he heard that part. So then when I assaulted the Dread, the Redemptor, whatever it was. And like I got the 3 hits and I got a Death of the False Emperor, so I got another one. Yeah. And I'm just like, well, yeah. I'm like, that's like 4 hits right there.
Yeah, it's 6 plus D6 damage.
No, it's 3 plus it's 6 plus D3 damage. 6 plus D3. But still, like there's 4 wounds, right? So he's like, how much is the damage? I'm like, well, forget about the D3s. It's just 24 straight because it's just 6 for each wound. And then just subtract 1 from the D3 rolls, and then you can take those 2 if you want to.
It's just so ridiculous.
Like,
I mean, it's not. You should have
like
done
32 damage.
I always try to give myself a challenge, and I play underpowered armies and see how I can do with them.
I mean, that's what I do. I love playing underpowered armies.
Such a lie.
I can't wait to come. I can't wait to come to all events.
The other way around. Yeah. Sorry.
I was like, you don't do what I do. When I show up with a zone throw bomb and go, all right, maybe I'll win a game. No.
No, I went from.
Definitely go for the power.
I went from Jakari to Grey Knights, and I'm not gonna lie, the Grey Knights.
Oh my god, that army is so good.
We're literally Alan and I are in our game, and we started talking about team tournament stuff and what we could do with that army.
Yeah, I was just talking about like the future. I'm like, man, if you ever really wanted to win a tournament, like Grey Knights are like really good. Like they can play out of almost anything. They have mobility. The sigil, is that what it's called, Brad? The sigil on the dude that lets you leave when you target him, like that's insane. That's boss mode. You just come up, pop the malediction on something. When they try to shoot you, you just go hide. All of their shooting is great. Their combat is great. I made a huge blunder mixing drinks and letting Brad charge my drill and not letting the unit get out. He was able to basically charge.
I charged the drill. I charged the drill with my army.
Yeah, like everything charged it. Like all interceptors charged it. All combat squad interceptors.
I circled his.
Yeah. So he positioned like exactly 3 away from it, except for the models that had to get within an inch. And then because he was like exactly 3 kind of away, the back end of his base and the front end of his base, I couldn't get a model in the front or in the back really, unless we like sat there and argued for like 6 years, which we would never do. He's like, this is what I intend to do. I'm like, you probably have enough models. Let's just make sure it's real. We did it up real quick, and we're like, yeah, that looks good. There's 0 chance of getting out 10 dudes anywhere here. So it wasn't what it was. So kind of sucked. Not gonna lie.
And then you took out your villain, your anger on the next guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Then Alan woke up and went, I'm giving 1 point to my next opponent. How many? No, 1. He can have 1.
So yeah, that was a blunder in my part in the game against the Grey Knights, but also just on power level, like Chaos Space Marines just can't compete with newer codexes. The codexes are just too good. Like the efficiencies Brad has in the list is just silly.
2022, you gotta wait to play Chaos, man. You can still play stuff. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you see, Brad. I don't know what's coming because I'm not a playtester. So
it's not
yeah,
a playtesting. It's a literally look at the community page and they said 2022 is Chaos.
Yeah, but is it any good? I don't know if it's good. Necrons came out. They suck.
They push it back like they just push back Custodes and GSC.
That's true.
Exactly.
That is true. And then I wonder where that's going to put Tau though, because remember the community page article said that Tau was going to be like right away after the first.
Yeah, it's supposed to be January, early.
I think I know what I need to do, Brad. I need to go on like all the streams and everything and talk about how much I don't like Chaos and how I'll never play them and I hope they're never good. And then the people that have influence at GW that do not like me will probably make them good to spite me. It's like reverse psychology. Just
reverse psychology.
Like, hey, Chaos sucks. I hate Chaos. Never play Chaos. And then all of a sudden they come out and they're freaking bonkers. Lash of Submission is back.
That is true. I did think Custodes were going to be Because that I thought, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty excited for the Custodes GSC to be with the new nerfs, the balance changes, to be ready for LVO, because I thought that would make the meta just this wild west of crazy, going in. And it is a little bit. I did think that the balance changes made we had a lot of different results, because some people took them in half and some people obviously didn't if you had listen. So we did have a lot of random stuff with that. I don't know. I think that you're going to see more and more different armies out there. So I think it's going to be cool.
I think one of the big things that it does is in the local metas, where the Drukhari were dominant or the Admech were dominant. This is going to give a chance for other stuff to bump up and challenge there. On the grand stage, you'll still see those armies towards the top, but you'll see a few others creep in. I think Grey Knights are going to become the dominant codex for a little bit, but I think things like Black Templar are going to sneak up on people.
Black Templars has tricks, man. I mean, there's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the thing is when your army's not just dominated by 6 planes, and you basically can't, because you can't play like some of these armies when there were 6 planes up there. Like you couldn't play Terminus S, you couldn't play some of the Black Templars if you're running all ground. Like he was running all ground pound. You know what I mean? If you have 6 planes against you, they just move block you, and you just lose the game.
I think another interesting point, Brian Horton, is that if you think Grey Knights are going to become the big dog on the block for a little bit, then the Be'lakor demon lists become really interesting, because
oh my God,
that's I feel like dumpster fire to play. I feel like they can't lose to Grey Knights unless you get like cheated on time. But if you play a full game, we don't want to talk about that today. If you play a full game, you could bring stuff back. Like that's gross.
Alan asked how I was feeling about, the tournament as a whole. He goes, besides losing to me, what do you think about the rest of the field? And I'm like, well, there wasn't any huge orc lists, and the AdMech lists were fairly mixed. They weren't any super skew lists. So I was like, I still feel pretty good. And he's like, well, what about like a TJ Demon list? And I go, I don't know if I could beat that, because I'd have to beat like 3,500 points of demons.
No, Grey Knights can't
come back every single turn.
Yeah, and they can bring the Bloodletter banner back too with them, and it's just gross. Like all the stuff they get, like bringing anything back right now is super strong when you're not paying for it. Like that's very good.
Yeah, those big giant units. He had a 30-man horror squad, for instance. You're just like
with all the points to split it.
Yeah, there's stuff happening there. If you can spend 2 CP and go, I'd like to have those guys back. You're like, I would not like you to have those guys back. So I was like, I don't know if I can kill that much crap during the course of a game.
Yeah, no, I don't think Grey Knights can handle it. So I think you'll see a shift where like Grey Knights are really, really good. I think Horton, you're totally right. Dark Eldar, AdMech are still going to be really strong. I even think Orcs are going to be really strong. They're just going to change how they play. I read the bike stuff yesterday. Yeah, I read the bike stuff yesterday because Brad was talking about it. It's really good.
The list that's going to hop in there is going to be Nids.
Dude,
yeah, Nids are gross.
Terrifying. Their punching power is nuts.
Yep. Nids are very good. Very, very strong. Yeah.
I just, because if you look, there was one guy who kind of brought Nid Monster Mash and did exceptionally well with it. And it wasn't like the most optimized build of that, but he still caught a lot of people off guard, because that's a lot of T7 running around that you have to deal with.
Just the bonuses they got from Leviathan are just humongous. Just well, not even just Leviathan. I mean, they have the synapse powers now, and then they've got obviously the Leviathan buffs, the full rerolls. The new strats are just.
But they're still glass. They're still glass though. They didn't get anything in terms of like surviving.
Right. I mean, we did have an army that just literally took 18 Hiveguard this weekend for Leviathan and just went 5-0.
I literally was telling people in Rockford 2 weeks ago, just play that. Just play 18 Hiveguard. The guy was there. He's like, I've been a Tyranid player all my life. I don't want to play. Those the spammy lists. And I'm like, why? I'm like, have you been playing Tyranids while they sucked? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, then you're an actual fan. Like, you're the guy who's okay to play the 18 Hiveguard. Like, you're the definition of when it's appropriate.
Coming from the guy who has 20,000 points of painted Tyranids, if not more. I did the 18 Hiveguard with the Tyranid Warrior thing against one of my friends and went, all right, well, that was fun. Let's play a real game now.
Yeah.
Where I'm not,
I mean, the weird thing is like, brutal. We were talking about like how indirect feels, because of the fact that, it might not even be the most powerful, but like anybody that gets beat by an indirect weapon, it does feel bad. So I don't know what they're going to do about that in the future. Because anytime you,
It's all relative. Orbital,
Yeah.
orbital bombardments felt worse when like you made a list with 5 turn 1. Like, okay.
yeah, but those don't even matter anymore because you just move away from them because they don't happen immediately now.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying it's all relative in the sense that
Yeah.
previously we've dealt with way worse things than indirect fire. Indirect fire is not that big of a deal. I don't think. You should be designing army lists that can get around the board and move. You should be playing things that you can address indirect fire. Like you should have
You
reserves.
just gotta have speed. You're already doing that.
Yeah, you
just,
gotta have
know what I
speed,
mean?
you
It's
gotta-
not like you can hide against indirect. You just
No,
get
you
shot.
can't hide, but you need to have an answer to solve it, right? You need to have a way to kill it, whatever it is.
Yeah, you need to have a way to kill it. You also need a way to have some durability on your backline, so the indirect with low AP doesn't just wipe you off the board.
Yeah, I heard like T8 vehicles are great, especially if they have 5 meltas and a bunch of Volkite shots.
I have heard when they have meltas that they're pretty good.
Carmona told me that. I don't know if he's right. I'm not sure, but he said, hey man, drills seem like a really good idea, and yeah, they seem like a really good idea. So, but I'm excited.
Not going to disagree.
How's the playtest and the world leader shaping up? He wants to corn it up, baby. Carmona's fucking gonna have Subway in one hand and a corn axe in the other.
I'm telling you, bro.
I
GW's
do.
never gonna make chaos good. James, just go play AOS, bro. You want to come with me? I'm literally building up Archeon right now. Like, let's just go play AOS. It's
That
gonna
model's
be
amazing.
it's gonna be a lot more fun, you know, for both of us.
Woo!
We just quit this whole 40K thing.
So
Why? Here's the thing about that. Why are the AOS scopes better than the 40K scopes?
different design team.
Man,
Did you
They're
say
possible.
better?
yeah.
They're not better.
I think the AOS models are better. I don't think that the 40K models are bad.
They're
I just think the
laughably,
AOS ones are better.
insanely better. Like, it's like better is not a good enough adjective. You need to throw some more grease on it.
My
like-
bad.
They make all the 40K models look like dog shit. So, yeah. That's how much better
I don't know. The
AOS
new,
heroes are.
I mean, the more recent stuff has been interesting, but like the kill rig, I think is a really interesting looking model. But you compare that to like the Cruel Boys stuff that came out, and it's night and day different.
Yeah, I mean they've got some, and they're definitely doing all their big models better. Like just that any of the individual things.
I
are
actually
just
think, yeah, I
like-
think the Orc release is better than normal, though, for 40K. I wasn't a huge fan of, like, Dark Eldar models or AdMech models or the new Necron line. Not a big fan of most of them, to be honest. But I mean, AOS, I don't know of a single faction that I don't
they're usually
like.
sweet.
Yeah,
You know,
all of
I
them look
play
good.
All the vampires and stuff as my archons. I mean, they look badass. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I think
they
Orcs were
just-
done pretty well, though. I agree with you. The kill rig is pretty sweet. That's a pretty sweet model.
I did like the commandos with the Ohio State
Commandos
hat,
look good.
basically.
And the commando sculpt looks really good, too. I think all the stuff they're doing off game, too, is really good, too. Like the Underworlds models and, like,
Oh, those
the
are
kill
way
team
cool,
stuff,
too.
all those models are really, really cool too. Like really
Necrobunga's
cool.
even getting
Well, it's
shit
like
back
if
again.
those new Tau Pathfinders are any step in the right direction for Tau, I actually think Tau is going to get some more variety and some more interest to it when they drop.
They need more. I can't believe they didn't embrace the Merc some more too, though. Because if you go with the Tau fluff, they have like a ridiculous amount of other races that they've absorbed into the Tau.
Yeah, which they can make a fully balanced army if they just wrote it. Like I don't understand. I don't get it. Just make the book.
I'd love to see a Tau Mercenaries book. I mean, we had the
Crude Mercenaries, baby. Yeah,
5th edition, was it?
yeah. When they could infiltrate their whole army. That was crazy.
Well, yeah, and you could give them like orc traits or other traits of other
Yeah,
armies.
because they ate
Fantastic.
stuff. They ate people and got their mojo in them. So
Would be amazing. So many cool
I think
things.
it's sweet. What are you doing for the future? What's the future of Du Bois? Tell them, look in the crystal ball and tell me
New
what's happening.
location. Say new
So-
location.
So
100%.
definitely looking at new locations. 100% looking at new locations. But here's the fun part of this. I'm going to actually use you guys today to announce that we're going to do a Syracuse GT. The Salt City GT. It's going to be July 22nd through 24th. Coming to the Marriott in downtown Syracuse. There'll be an exclusive bar for us there. Huge 8,000 square foot ballroom.
Yeah.
It's going to be massive. Working with trying to do a couple of unique things where we can get like some wine tours set up for people to bring their spouses with them and some other stuff. So more details coming on that December 1st. Obviously got to get through the holidays to get everything finalized and done up, but it's looking really good. The future for Du Bois is I definitely want to go to a new venue. I'm looking at a casino that's just outside of Rochester. so we can have some fun and get loaded in a casino, because that's fun to watch Brad lose money too. So.
I love that everybody's fun stories have something bad happening to me.
I don't think I've ever seen you gamble.
It's not as good as the stories that Alan was telling about, Navati while we're sitting around getting drunk at the boys. That was
sounds true.
That's just a given. Go to a tournament and tell funny stories. That's just what Brad does. And then he tells them bad, so I have to get involved to like help him out a little bit. Make sure the facts get straight. Because he over exaggerates sometimes.
No, but it was nice this year for Du Bois, because the company that I'm working for, the art store in Syracuse, which is a huge online retailer of Games Workshop along with a brick and mortar store, did a great job allowing us to get amazing prize support at really good prices, which was really a fantastic thing.
Yeah, the boys and Michigan GT are like the two events that like just prize support is like insanely good, considering the investment of going and everything and the time you take and the not only like what you get, but the spread, like how many people get prizes, how many people get recognized, like how you both divide things. I think both Michigan GT and the boys really have things figured out. So I hope you guys do the same thing for the Syracuse event.
It'll be the same thing in Syracuse, except I know the best overall player is going to get a WWE World Title belt.
Yeah,
massive title belt, custom made, their name engraved on it, the whole 9 yards.
I'm gonna go ask my wife if I can go to this. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I really want everyone to come and have a good time. And look, I run events not to make money. I'm not a business trying to run an event. I'm trying to, at the end of the day, going, all right, we got enough money to put a deposit down for next year. Great, let's go. And that's kind of our thing, is we're not there for money. We're not trying to do anything. The next year, if we made enough that we can add 5 more tables, we add 5 more tables. If we have to upgrade our tables, we upgrade our tables. It's our philosophy of we're there for the community to have fun and have a good time. And at the end of the day, hopefully the community supports us, buys us a couple of drinks, and we move on. And I've never had a problem with people helping out, getting going.
At the boys, buying drinks is not a problem. That just kind of happens.
Yeah,
so.
That's just happening.
It's just a given. There may or may not be bottles of scotch always at the judges' table.
So, Brad, are we flying to Rochester, kidnapping Sean, and then driving to Syracuse for this?
Yeah, that's happening.
Yes. But, like, in his Corvette? Like, we just duct tape him, put him in the trunk, and then we drive his Corvette to Syracuse?
We drive the Corvette for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's summertime, so we'll definitely have the Corvette out.
Whether it's out or not, we're still stealing it.
We're still stealing it.
We know the code. We know the code to his garage. Like, we're good.
We're in.
We got this.
As do I. So we can all.
We'll fly into Rochester. We'll fly out of Syracuse.
Yeah,
easy peasy.
Although Horton, Sean keeps his cars a lot cleaner than you keep your car. I'm just gonna say.
I'm just gonna say.
It's a lot better.
I did have my car packed from front seat all the way to the back seat.
Yeah.
And everything in between full of terrain, prize support, mats. It was
weird though finding that Ziploc bag. And it just said like Wednesday's tuna fish sandwich. It was like underneath your chair. That was kind of strange. I didn't know what to do with that one. I just left it there. I was like, no, this is good. You're fine.
No, wait, number one, that wouldn't have happened because I don't eat tuna. But
yeah.
So then what was in the sandwich?
You don't want to know.
What was in the sandwich, Horton?
No one.
You never want to know.
First rule of Sandwich Club: you don't talk about Sandwich Club.
Labeling sandwiches here.
Exactly.
Subway sandwich abuse. Jesus.
Subway, exactly.
Can I, Brad, are you okay with me reaching out to Subway corporate and seeing if they'll sponsor the show?
100%.
I think it'd be hilarious.
I'm still waiting
like,
for
what do you want from us? I'm like, nothing. I want you to just acknowledge that you're our sponsor.
We don't want anything from you.
We will give you money. We will guarantee this many people.
We have to get you sponsored somehow. I mean, I do run a store that does Warhammer stuff. That might be possible. You never know.
Nah, we'll never sell ourselves out to Warhammer people. Only Subway. Maybe Applebee's. I can go for Applebee's,
but here's
too.
The thing. We're also an art store, so there's some bonuses that we can be creative.
Ooh, I do like airbrush guns. I need one of those. Got to talk to you, Horton, about an airbrush gun.
Alan took his stance of, I won't sell myself out. Oh, that sounds pretty good. I'll sell myself out.
Wait a minute. Airbrush guns? Wait.
That was such a short argument.
Are airbrush guns on the table right now?
Not selling out. Airbrush guns? Yeah, I sold them. You sound like Rick James on that. I remember when I put
Brad would sell out for a glass of wine. He's like, wait, you have a glass of wine?
Yeah, I
Oh.
mean, everybody knows I'm cheap on that.
All right,
Yeah,
sounds
like
good.
ready
Well,
to
I'm
send
very
that,
much
that'll-
So-
for next to boys, Brad, I'm definitely getting a bottle of good like Finger Lakes wine, like top of the line, and putting it on the freaking table for you to buy raffle tickets.
Oh, I would just constantly be
Brad
there.
will literally look at everyone in the tournament and go, listen, that's my wine. So don't you dare take my wine.
Here's the thing: if you win this raffle, I will still steal your wine. So don't
Considering,
even bother.
I don't know, Brad, considering your actual sportsmanship score, someone's going to steal that bottle of wine from you.
What was his sportsmanship score? I didn't actually look at it this year.
He got a 9. I got a 16.
I didn't. I
You
got a
did.
13.
You got a 9,
made-
bro.
You made it lower every time you talked about it.
Alan, you got a 16?
I got a
That's actually pretty
16.
good. That's actually really good.
I know. Well, I gave every opponent a model. I walked every opponent through my crazy list. I was like, listen, James explained it to me this way. This is how it works. Trust me. And walked them through how everything plays, and people were astonished. I think a lot of people saw Chaos Space Marines, and they were like...
with the exception of getting that nice yellow card that you got there. When you,
Yeah, I got a stratagem
forgot.
wrong. But I never used it, so whatever. Haha.
It's okay.
I
Nice
got a-
representer.
I got a fake yellow card.
Yeah, you did get a fake yellow card.
Why'd you get a fake yellow card?
he walks up. I can't remember who came out to me. He goes, "Hey man, you get a yellow card." I'm like, "What? What?" I wander up.
Judges up.
Yeah, and I wander up the table. He goes, "No, you didn't get a yellow card. I knew that you would immediately come up here if he said that."
Pretty
That's
much.
weird.
I turned to my sportsmanship sheet and I just put the first name of everybody, and that was it. And two of my opponents had the same name, also.
It's like Sam and Sam, ranked 2 and 3. Which one's which?
It was honestly though, Horton. It was good that you got everyone to turn those in, because like if people didn't turn them in and just left, that would be bad for a lot of players.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one of the things is all you're doing is hurting when you're using a sportsmanship score. You turn it in because it helps all your opponents out. It doesn't, help you out by not turning it in. It hurts, in the long run, everybody. And, you yell and walk up to people and go, "Yeah, you moron."
Yeah.
And most everybody's pretty cool about it. He's like, "Oh, I forgot."
That should literally be Subway's tagline. In the long run, it hurts everybody.
Yeah.
That should be it. Done.
All of
Yeah,
the
the best
things.
is one of my judges on Sunday night messages me after getting home, and he was like, "I think I'm still drunk."
I think if he was thinking, then I think he was fine. He was okay. He was getting back to
Nah,
normal.
He wasn't thinking well. He might have been on the way down the hill.
It's overrated.
So Chester, any army list other than the demons list that you were worried about at all at the boys?
No, because that was why I took the Grey Knights. It's like the everyman army. I don't think it crushes any one specific thing, but it plays well into like everything. So it just feels like you always have plays.
Yeah,
I would have liked to have seen you versus the orc, that one orc list that was there. That was run by Neil. That would have been an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about in that one. That would be a harder match. It's just the Grey Knights just felt good versus stuff. They didn't feel like as powerful in certain matchups as like the Drakari do, but they also didn't feel like, oh crap, this matchup is a dumpster fire. I have to figure out something. You know what I mean? It just felt like I gotta play well and I can figure it out every single time.
Yeah. Mason asked if we're focusing on AOS stuff. I would love to, Mason. I know what happened. I talked to Souza and the team, and I know how that event went, but it would just be foreign languages to Brad. So we typically focus on 40K. I can put it in perspective. I was talking about Marathi after the event, and Brad thought Marathi was a player in the AOS event playing an army.
Also, yes.
So that's how bad it is in terms of how much Brad knows about AOS. So
I was like, hey man, this Marathi guy sounds awesome.
But it was a great event. AOS was awesome. Really good painted models, really good tables. Everyone I talked to had a fun time. So
it's all of the goodness, all of the time. Let's dance our way out, Jeff.
yes.